All right, just waiting for people to get onto the stream. Just went live. I didn't have a chance to send out another thing on Facebook, so I'm going to do that right now. And I'm just going to add a couple other things to this stream right now. So I don't know what the themes are. I didn't figure that out. I took a break to get something to eat, but whatever these themes are, I don't know what this is. So I'm going to see what else I can kind of figure out while people are getting onto the stream. So I did tell people it was going to be at 9, but yeah, it might take a little while for people to get there. So I'm just going to let people know now. All right. And I'm just going to turn on the chat box thing here. Display capture. I don't need display capture. I need background. Nope. This happened last time. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull up now. I just forgot to add on the source again. It's going to be a window capture. I keep messing up. Add capture, iPad, add source. So every time I turn off my iPad, I have to put a new one on. So let me just window capture again, add source, Procreate. Let's see if this works this time. Nope. All right. So yeah, that's one thing I'm noticing so far. I need to make sure I do. Whoever's viewing, welcome. How are you? Let's see. Try this again. All right. So go to window capture, add source. Let's see. Add a new source. I have to keep doing this. iPad 2. Add source. Select an option. Okay. We are good to go. All right. So if you watched last stream, you saw me start working on this little cicada drawing here. So I had some wings and everything and a couple other things going on. I don't really know what else to really catch you up on. Not much has changed. So I just was drawing this cicada and kind of just chatting, hanging out. Specific stuff again, just so I can kind of see. All right. Got that on. Display capture in the background. We're going to keep, yeah, we'll keep the display capture off. All right. So we are going live now. And let's see what we got. Cool. So yeah, we're live now. I can see specific stuff again, just so I can kind of see. All right. Got that on. Display capture in the background. We're gonna keep. Yeah, we'll keep the display capture off. Oh. So we are. Okay. All right. Cool. So everything's up and should be working. I don't know if these widgets are working. Got this. All right, cool. I got the. Okay. All right, cool. So everything's up and should be working. I don't know if these widgets are working. Got this going. We got 2 viewers that's going right now. I'm gonna just post to Facebook really quick with a link to see if it'll let me do that. Okay, so just got everything situated. It's not letting me share the link for some reason. So we're just gonna get back to drawing. It doesn't look like any of these widgets are working. I don't know what to do for that, but all right. So yeah, we're just gonna get back to shading. Let's move this keyboard. And we're gonna start detailing out the wings and the eyes. Now the wings on a separate layer and the shading right here on the top. So we're just gonna stick with that. And just move this over. Cool. All right. So yeah, that's ready to roll. Let's see. Gonna try just messaging a few other people that said they wanted to see the stream. All right, let's see. Do a little Instagram story. All right, so yeah, I'm on the live stream now on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, you should be able to see the live stream. We're just gonna be finishing up this cicada drawing. So we're going through OBS Streamlabs. And it should be a pretty fast little video, maybe like an hour just chilling and hanging out. All let's try that again. Okay. Back to drawing. All right. Got water this time, so I'm not dying. So what I was doing last time, I had kind of already got this all figured out, but I'm going to try using a reference layer option, which someone had suggested. So what you do is you just make the lines like a reference, and then anything that you draw like fits within it. That's probably not right. Yeah, I have to do it above. All right, forget that. Put it down here, and now that this is a reference, nope, still don't work. All right. Let's see. All right. So I don't even remember what I was talking about before I left. I feel like we were talking about something, but I can't really remember. I'm not sure if you can hear some of like the background talking. My roommates are in like the other room. The walls are super thin, so sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, so just gonna finish doing all the detailed shading. I just brought the brush size way down, still using the same one, and it gives it a pretty smooth gradient actually. Now that I've been kind of looking at it, looks a little bit nicer than how I was using it before. I was using it definitely way too big, but that's okay. We're gonna add some more kind of chunky details, and I'm zoomed way in right now. But this actually kind of gives it a tattoo flash look that's a little bit more like spit shading. It's just a textured brush, like lots of noise, so it kind of gets that effect, but it's not meant to look like tattoo flash shading, like spit shading. And again, I have the symmetry turned on. Yeah, you can kind of see it's pretty dark. I'm pretty pixelated just because we're zoomed in so high, and the resolution isn't really the best. But I just wanted to kind of test the streams out before, and it's getting a little bit better. So the goal, hopefully, with these live streams is actually also to see if I can kind of bump up the subscribers. So doing pretty good. We're already at like 516 as of recording now, so broke the feasible thing to do long term for doing the streams. So like I have a free trial right now, which is allowing me to show Procreate through Streamlabs, but after like 30 days, it's like a paid subscription. So I'm gonna see if it's actually something people enjoy enough to make it worth investing in. All right, this going. Yeah, that paper scratching sound is actually coming from the screen protector on my iPad. It's one of the paper-like ones. And at first, I wasn't really too much of a big fan of it. I thought it was kind of like a hype thing, really overpriced hype thing. But after you start to use it for a while and it starts to break in a little bit, it actually, I don't think I could draw without it at this point. Just gives such a nice feeling, super smooth. Yeah, I don't understand a lot of the like a lot of that stuff either. I always get kind of confused when I see like what's popular for me. I have a couple of videos that are just always doing well, and I just don't know why they're doing so well, but for whatever reason they are. But it's the weird thing with the Google analytics along with the YouTube itself, and it's like separate AI and algorithm. It just it tends to happen that way. I don't know why. Like I have a few videos that are I wouldn't assume to be very interesting, and they just seem to do the best. And then the stuff I think is going to do well never seems to do well. So just kind of happens that way. So now that I'm softening up some of the other harsh shading that I had before, I'm actually really starting to like how the texture is coming out. Now that's smoothing out a little bit. And normally I'm really into having a really harsh and pretty haggard looking texture on my pieces. A lot of my older Tattoo Flash stuff, when I was like bedridden from my surgery, I couldn't really sit at a desk and paint properly, so I would use China markers and just Sharpies for the most part to outline everything I made. So for a really long time I had all those pieces that had that really harsh shading and super sharp edges and all that. But I would use the roughest paper ever, so it would give this really heavy peppery shading look. And I started doing that like kind of just out of not really having a choice when it came to being able to like continue to make Flash, because it was just after like I first got my apprenticeship, so I slowly latched onto that style, and it sort of just became like a thing that I was doing, and it's sort of evolved. But whenever I do tattoo stuff, this is for some reason is just what I always default back to, is this super heavy black peppery shading look. All right, so body's starting to smooth out a little bit. I'm going to try to send out another thing in a minute just to see what's going on. I had a few people that said they wanted to make sure that I send them something for the stream, but I just don't think they're getting it, or maybe they just kind of decided, not tonight. All right, let's see. Okay, so the shading looks pretty good. Got a couple of spots here. I'm going to add some other just harsher little bits here and there. Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, that looks pretty good. It's a little harsh in some areas. It's a little hard to really kind of see what I'm working on, but not terrible. Nah, dude, you're a great promotion. Thanks for thanks for even like tagging me. That was awesome. That was sick. So the other thing too is I'm not sure if other people would see the comment section. Like this Streamlab thing, it's supposed to have, I don't know, it's supposed to do something. So there's like a donation bar that's on here, and then there's this chat thing up here, which I don't think it's working at all. I think I gotta do something to it. I don't know. It's like this weird frame. It all looks weird. I gotta figure out this Streamlabs stuff a bit more for the next one for sure, just to make sure I have it set up and ready to go as soon as I go live. All right, so just gonna blast this with some more shading here, kind of let it neutral out. So it's really heavy and a little hard to read, but isn't so bad. Let's see. Just gonna bring this down. Yeah, it's still not working right. Okay, well, let's it is what it is. It's fine. So many buttons to click. All right, gonna get onto the wings now. Accidentally shaded inside of the line work, but that's okay. I was gonna merge these anyway. We're going to merge those down. We're going to put the wings up, and then we're going to do the shading of the wings separately. Huh, so the chat's just disappearing after a few seconds. Okay, good to know. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing that. Should be holding up. Hang on, sorry. Okay, so I gotta. Okay. Um. Sorry about that, roommates. So let me just adjust the gain on this. Okay. So the chat keeps disappearing, and for some reason, YouTube is not letting me share this as a link, which is a little frustrating. I don't know why it's doing that. Should work, but it's just not holding up. So I think I gotta bring my channel. All right, there we go. So another person just joined, so I think that is working. And for some reason, YouTube is not letting me share this as a link. Okay. A little frustrating. I don't know why it's doing that. Should work, but it's just not holding up. So let's see. I gotta bring my channel. Sorry guys, trying to get it all figured out. It's a little tricky. I think that is working. All right. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna work on the wings. I don't know what else to do for this, so sorry about that. It's just not gonna work the way I thought it was gonna work, but that's okay. So on the bottom of the wings here, if you look at the reference that I was using, which I forgot to grab, there's little dark areas of the wings, and the wings are actually pretty translucent. So we're gonna start with the heavier shading again, and then we'll kind of go through it and see like what's happening. Sorry, it looks like it's not refreshing. Yeah, so we're gonna just kind of keep shading on it with this heavier black, and just turn the drawing assist on as well. So we're just gonna do that, kind of bring it in, and let's see kind of how it starts to look once we add a bit more on there. It's looking okay. I'm not sure what the quality is on the actual stream itself right now, and the colors are still super off. I don't know why it's so bright like that. It's making it look like a purple. It's not how it looks on my screen on the iPad. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And I'm just going to bring the microphone settings up a little bit and see if that's helping at all. Okay, moving moving an iMac. All right, so yeah, the boom arm is getting kind of in the way, and not sure if you guys can hear. There we go. All right, a little bit better. It's a little hard to draw and then talk into this thing, so I have to like bring the gain up, and it gets a little loud. My roommates are also having like a conversation, which sounds like basically outside of my door, but they're actually way in the other room. Just the sound travels in this apartment like crazy. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear him in my headphones. All right, so bring the gain back down. Oh my god. All right, so we got the dark parts of the wing added a little bit. Okay, so the iPad is looking good. Good to know. Yeah, so the little dark area here that's starting to get filled in with the shading, keeping it kind of rough. I'm gonna throw this on some textured paper when I'm done, and then also intentionally blow out some of the detail in the corners here to kind of give it more of a noise effect. And basically what we're going to do is once this is at a point where it looks pretty good, I'm going to actually start manipulating this layer with other colors, doing overlay effects, and sort of the same thing to the layers below it. But essentially what that's going to do is give me a different color to work with that isn't up here black, so it'll shade a little differently, and we'll get kind of like a nice, crisp, interesting image that's got more neutralized tones to it instead of these super harsh black and white that we have going on right now. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to bring the brush way up to get more of this sort of speckled effect and bring the opacity down. Might be a little too much. There we go. That's not too bad. And we'll take the eraser tool and then we'll go around and we'll actually clean up a lot of these sort of stray bit of the stray shading that's on there. Sorry, got a little focused on there. Okay, yeah, so that's just going to be like a simple way to do it. We could use a selection on the other layer of the line work and just get it out perfect, but I don't mind a little bit of abstract noise to kind of bring this together once all the layers start happening. Then switch back to the brush and we'll just clean up a little bit smaller. Just start filling that stuff in, make sure it's nice and dark and looks good. We'll go a little bit smaller again to really fade that stuff down. All right, so yeah, that looks pretty good. And now all I gotta do is manipulate the wings and the colors a little bit, and we'll pretty much have it exactly how, well, at least I'll have it exactly how I want. I don't know if I don't know if you guys will like it or not. All right, so that's pretty good. And now when we add the body to it, we kind of have a pretty dark image, so it's a little hard to read because it's so dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start manipulating the layers a little bit by doing different color overlays on top of it to see if that sort of to see if that helps with how it looks. So I'm going to actually merge the shading layer from the wings and the wing lines. So now we have two separate assets here. And on this one, I'm going to add a new layer above the body. And I'm going to find sort of like a weird sort of off-white color, a little bit darker, kind of like a creamish color. So I'm going to grab that and then throw that on here. And then we're just going to try doing a couple different things to see what really works. So I'm in trying some blending modes right now. The hard light's looking pretty good. And you can try all sorts of different things to see what works best. I think the screen isn't bad either. I kind of like how the screen looks, but it still looks a little too synthetic and doesn't really have that much dimension. So I'll duplicate this layer down here to have the lines, and then I'll bring it above and then change this blending mode to something else that's kind of like a little bit darker. So still kind of see some of the brown, like sepia tone washes. So yeah, I kind of like, let's see. Actually, I don't mind that. The overlay is pretty good. I think if I bring the overlay down just a little bit and maybe go to normal, and then I'll start pulling out some of the areas that are a little too dark with the eraser. So actually, a clipping mask would be good. Clipping mask, and then we'll start doing Let's see. I'm trying to remember which one it is. It's one of these mask layers. Yeah, so it's that one there, and you need to make sure that you have like pure black on your brush selected. And what it does is essentially you paint in areas that you want to erase some stuff. So I'm happy with how dark it is in those areas. I'm just gonna start pulling out some highlights on the body in some weird spots. I'm just gonna keep the texture too, so it doesn't get too kind of like, blown out. And if it does get blown out, it's fine. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now on the wings, I'm going to do something pretty similar actually on the wings. And that's why that's not working, because that layer, I was going to say, it's the wrong layer to be doing that. Okay. I was wondering why it wasn't working for how I intended it to work. There we go. So now you can see the lighter color underneath. I just put the mask on the wrong layer. So this gives you the opportunity to make some really nice little highlighted sections on the body and kind of stick within a tonal family without really doing too many destructive things to it, because you're just using masks to create the illusion of a more complex shaded image. This is pretty like basic and standard stuff when it comes to digital illustration, but if you don't know it, it's definitely a good tip to learn and good trick to have in your arsenal when you're just trying to do something quickly. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to duplicate the wings as well, and then we're going to do a pretty similar treatment. We're going to duplicate the same color and bring it above on that set of the wings. It's pretty dark. And let's see, we're going to actually just do a clipping mask so we don't have the body selected as well, and then we're going to find a more yellowish tone. I'm going to start with this pretty harsh yellow and then try scaling that back a little bit. Let me try doing this darker layer above it first. Interesting. There we go. So that's like the hard light looks still pretty good, but the wings are technically supposed to be lighter than the body, so I think I like the look of that, but it's not what I'm going for. So I think that's going to be a little bit different. So I think I'm going to take this opacity all the way up and then try. There we go. It looks pretty good actually with that. And then now when I'm on the wings, I can bring in that color layer and start adding in some other effects to it. This overlay, it looks pretty good. It's still lighter, but it's not quite there. Yeah, you want them to kind of have that translucent feel to them, so it looks pretty good. And then this darker color on top, we're going to actually change the blending mode of that. It's luminosity, bring that opacity. That's still pretty good. Okay, so we got kind of the basics on that layer. We're going to duplicate one more of the wings above it. And then we're going to bring this blending mode to something else. We're actually going to make this the normal, make it without a blending mode. And then we're going to check the opacity on it. And we're going to stop with the clipping mask on there. And we'll just merge these two and then that one. And then we'll duplicate this one more time. It's a little bit darker. Okay, so I think that's kind of the color I'm going for on that. Still can't. Something about it just not right. Not sure yet. Oh, the iPad source is frozen. Okay, 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Sorry, guys. I'm like looking at the screen and not even able to see the chat. I think that's that air server issue. Open that back up. Oh, it says it's open. I'm not sure. I'm going to pull it up on YouTube and see if I can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm seeing it on my screen. I don't know if it's fixed, but yeah, it looks fine on my screen, but who knows? Maybe it's just reacting weird. All right. Start throwing some other colors on this. Now it does look pretty plain, and it's not quite how I wanted it, but I think we're gonna stick with that. Go back one. Hang on. Merge that. Nope, not like that either. There we go. All right, so I'm going to merge it all together now. So everything's merged together, and let's see. Can I refresh this? I think this is... Yeah, still seeing all black. All right, so yeah, that's the basic sketch. Now we're going to go in with some yellow. I'm going to go with a lighter tone. Go with a slightly different fixed grain shader. Nope, wrong one. I'm gonna actually go to, where is it? There we go. Some of the spit shading stuff is gonna work pretty good. So this is actually a tattoo style brush from Tattoo Supply Company, or I think it's Tattoo Supply. They all have like supply in the name. They don't know what they're talking about. All right, so I'm going to put that layer underneath the line work, and then I'm going to actually start painting in with this watercolor type brush. Let's see if I can push some of the details a little bit further. And I'm not going to keep the symmetry on this one. I actually intentionally want to really have that unsymmetric sort of washed look on here. See. Sorry, and I can't see the chat as easy, so I don't know what you can see or not. Yeah, and the whole image is super distorted. All right, something's going on with this. I'm going to try to see if I can fix it. There we go. All right, I'm going to move me off screen. Yeah, what is up with this thing? Okay. I don't know what's going on with all this, but I think there's some weird stuff happening. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's the weird bar from before. I don't know what that's... All these settings are messed up. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. There's all this stuff that's on my screen that shouldn't be. All right, whatever. Second stream on the same day. Can't win them all. I'll have that figured out by tomorrow. I think I'll just start from scratch and rebuild the whole thing. Yo, Tenzing in the house. What's up, dude? Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get it all figured out with the live streaming. Just messing around, but I'm worried a little bit more about the stream right now than the art. All right, so started with kind of like a tattoo flash style on this. I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. Probably going to stick to different style on this one and just kind of make it a bit more like of a spray painted look and really mess with the colors a bit more and kind of get like a nice little faded effect going on top. I think this will look better afterwards. Yeah. So I'm going to use the multiply effect and then actually start painting over this, and it's going to give me a bit more of a interesting gradient effect on top of the image and the art. And I'm just kind of bouncing around between a couple palettes I have that are already pretty heavily used by myself and some other ones that are like weird preset ones. A friend of mine sent me a couple random color palettes and color palette generator pieces. So this is one of the watercolor brushes from the Tattoo Smart sets that I got during like their sale a couple weeks back. And it's pretty nice. It's more of like a traditional like Japanese water brush sort of effect to it. Let's see. Got like a bunch of random brushes. The grain shader one's good. Yeah, we'll kind of give it some other cool effects on the top here. Do some splatter effects and all of the same colors. And let's bring those into a linear burn so we get a much cooler effect. All right, and it doesn't really look as random, so I'm going to change that actually once again. Yeah, still not quite happy with that. Let's see. Add more of this bright pink on here. Yeah, that'll work. Some that bright spray paint effect maybe. Yeah, I think this piece is just overworked, but just gonna kind of have fun while I'm testing out stream stuff still. It's not a moth. Maybe should probably put that as a cicada. Huh, still just showing the black cicada. It's not moving. All right, I'm going to try closing the app, and then I'll bring it back and see if that helps. And if not, I will restart the stream. All right, so close the app out. Boom, Procreate again. And hit select. And still nothing, it looks like. Okay. All right, so it looks like it's frozen on a random capture on the image here, so I don't know what to really do about that. I'm gonna close this and we're gonna turn off the label stuff here. Turn that off. iPad. Yeah, it's still not showing up. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to restart the stream and see what's going on. I don't know why it's not working, and I'm gonna actually send out a couple other links and see if we can get this working correctly this time. And man, I wish you guys could see this, but I'll do a still of it, I guess, in the next video. Yeah, the source itself is kind of messed up, so I don't know what's going on with the entire iPad right now. So yeah, I'm gonna redo it. Give me like another 15 minutes. If not, then I'm gonna go again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have this all figured out. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Maybe I'll just try to figure it out tonight, and then we'll do another one tomorrow that's a little bit more organized and kind of has everything going for it. All right, Wolf, what's up?